Right between the European and Asian continents, surrounded by the rushing currents of the Bosphorus, sits a single, isolated structure. Out of all the monuments in Istanbul, the Maiden's Tower is the only imperial landmark built directly in the water. These foundations were engineered for maritime defense and tactical surveillance long before they ever appeared on postcards. In 408 BC, the Athenian general Alcibiades turned this small rocky outcrop into a customs checkpoint, forcing ancient triremes to pay a toll to pass into the Black Sea. This illustration shows how Byzantine emperors modified the site, transforming the islet into an anchor for a massive maritime barrier. An iron chain stretched from the tower to the historic peninsula, creating a naval blockade that prevented enemy fleets from reaching the city's heart. The tower functioned as a calculated gateway, enforcing imperial authority over one of the ancient world's most critical maritime choke points. Over the centuries, the tower's physical isolation from the city shore allowed it to become a canvas for Istanbul's most tragic folklore. The most enduring story centers on a Byzantine emperor who was warned by a fortune teller that his daughter would die from a venomous snakebite before her 18th birthday. The emperor utilized the tower as a sanctuary, believing the surrounding saltwater would act as an impenetrable moat against any land-dwelling serpent. On her 18th birthday, the emperor arrived with a gift of exotic fruits. But as the princess reached into the basket, a hidden snake struck. She died in her father's arms, an event that permanently rebranded the monument in the public imagination as the Maiden's Tower. While this legend is pure myth, it effectively replaced the tower's martial history with a narrative of inescapable fate. The physical stones of the tower have endured structural trauma far more devastating than any mythological threat. An earthquake shattered the walls in 1509, and in 1721, a catastrophic fire destroyed the tower's wooden components. By the 1830s, authorities utilized the tower's separation from the mainland to house victims of a cholera epidemic, turning the site into a quarantine hospital. A different threat arrived in 1944, when repair crews coated the structure in salt-heavy concrete. Over the following decades, the chemicals in that cement began corroding the original historic masonry underneath. A meticulous restoration project launched in 2021 stripped away this modern concrete to resurrect the authentic wood and stone profile originally designed by Sultan Mahmud II in 1832. The isolation of the tower is highlighted by the contrast between this lonely island and the bustling architecture of the Mihri Mas Sultan Mosque, located just a few hundred meters away on the Üsküdar shoreline. The tower's legacy is defined by its resilience against natural disasters, epidemic disease, and the corrosive effects of modern engineering. Following its 2023 reopening, the tower functions as a public monument and museum. This view shows the Topkapi Palace across the water. The tower serves as an observation point, looking back at the historic center of Ottoman power. Every evening, a light and laser show beams across the strait, visually connecting the Maiden's Tower to the Galata Tower on the opposite shore. This modern display creates a new layer of urban lore, signaling that the city is still actively projecting its identity onto the structure. The Maiden's Tower reflects Istanbul itself, a structure born of strategic conflict, shaped by tragedy, and enduring as a bridge between two continents and two realities.